One love, jobless. Far Nelson here, and today I'm here to talk about loving your environment. Truly a lost practice in this day and age. If we look around, even in different countries than our own, we'll notice that people don't truly respect the environment as well as they should. There's many things in the way that we get rid of waste and the way that we consume and the way that we just go about our daily life and habits that are very destructive to this ecosystem, to this environment that we're living in. And even though we may not feel the effects, right away, the effects are still happening. The effects are still occurring and are still causing disruptions in our, bodies, in our minds, and in the bodies and the minds of other plants and animals around the world. So we have to realize that everything we do in our environment should be out of a place of love. It should be, not only just love as in, oh, I'm doing good, or I'm, trying to be more eco-friendly and this and that, but really being aware of what products you're using, what, plastic and paper and how much of it you're truly using. You have to realize that even these products, 9 times out of 10 that you return on Amazon, if they're used or if they just cannot be repurposed, they're just going to a landfill. It's just stacking up. There's so much, convenience, so much just easy accessibility in this world. And lots of times that comes with additives like plastic wrappings, like additives like cardboard boxes, additives like they need to put the product in these hard plastic cases and metal clips, and there's so much karma that comes into buying a single product that we don't realize so much after effects and before effects that had to happen for this product to come into creation. So when I'm talking about loving your environment, that's on a truly a global, a broad mind frame that you want to aspire to get to, so that you're conscious of every single karmic debt you may be pulling into your life and the lives around you when you feel that you want to buy this product or feel that you want to, consume from this retailer instead of just figuring out how to get it locally, or figuring out how to do it yourself, even grow it yourself, make it yourself. So that's in a global aspect. I wanted to touch on that so you know the goal. But truthfully, that's very, very, difficult in this day and age, in this generation, in this society, for someone to actually get to the point where they are able to use all products and all things that aren't causing so much extra destruction before or after. When everything is aligned with the natural way of life and the natural flow of recycling that is supposed to be done by the earth, by the rain, by the soil, by the, the ants and the maggots and the fungus that break down natural products. But we can even start so much smaller than that. It really just takes those baby steps of becoming a person who maybe doesn't litter. You'd be surprised. I was walking behind someone and I just saw how they just chucked, they ate a piece of candy and just chucked it to the side. They did it sneakily. At least they had some consciousness, some morality, a little bit in there. but they just chucked the wrapper. You know, a trash can was not far away at all. Maybe 10 feet, 15 feet at most, and they would have been to a trash can, but instead they decided to just chuck it. You know, and there's many people like this, many people who aren't bad people at the end of the day. It's just that the love is lacking in this world. We love so much of our own selves and our own material products and our own instant sense of gratification from the senses, instead of actually gratifying the spirit, actually gratifying the whole universal whole. We're so worried about the material and the senses, when truthfully there's so much more out there to be enjoyed, so much more out there for generations to come. But when we do little things like litter, this is blocking our generations of enjoying the fruits of what the people before us were able to give us. We have to realize that the more and more we continue this cycle of destruction, of corruption, of pollution, whether small or big, micro or macro, we're part of the problem. And we're stripping, clean air. We're stripping clean land. We're stripping clean waters and oceans and full ecosystems. It's very hard to even go into nature nowadays and not see some type of litter that happened to just be there, decaying for years and years. Someone's shirt, someone's socks, someone's water bottle, someone's chip bag. It's everywhere. And it almost, I almost feel like, it's that picture of the Indian, the Native American crying when they see someone littering. That's how I feel nowadays when I see someone who still are in that consciousness. It's like we have so much information now. What's the point of not just going out of your way, crushing your cans, crushing your bottles, doing whatever you can to recycle for yourself? And you get paid for it. I don't know if people realize this, but if you recycle and go to a recycling center, you get money from doing that. They give you money right then and there, cash. Not card, not a gift card, nothing, cash. Whether it's $2 or $20, you're gonna get cash right then and there. So it just starts by people actually waking up and realizing that they matter. I think that's the core thing, is people think that they don't matter. And that's confusion. Every single person matters, because guess what? If you change, people around you are gonna see, oh wow, they changed. What are they doing differently? Why are they seeming so happy? Why are they, picking up my trash from my that spilled over from my trash can? They'll see the acts and the decisions that you are making, the habits that you are growing, and they might be inspired to change as well. You may spark lights in others. You may spark that divine light in others that helps them shift in a way that will bring more shifts onto this whole planet, not just into your neighborhood or not just into your life or their life. We can shift the whole planet when we shift ourselves. You matter. What you do matters. Every little thing that you do in the mode of goodness, in the mode of righteousness, in the mode of love matters, because it's shifting other energies around you. Whether it's the ecosystem, whether it's people, whether it's plants, whether it's animals, what you do matters. You taking time to, I don't even drink sodas, but even when I did used to drink sodas, and you got the cans, they come in that plastic holder, the 6-pack or whatever they do now, even taking that time to cut up those plastic rings is so beneficial. I heard that sea turtles were getting their necks and caught up in these plastic things, and fish were getting their necks caught in these plastic rings, even when I was a kid, and I would cut them up. Even as a kid, you want to not harm the sea turtles. Don't want to harm the ecosystem. We have this natural instinct as a kid, but as a grown up, as an adult, it seems more and more people begin to lose it when people just realize, oh, what am I wasting my time, I guess throwing things away or recycling or cutting up harmful waste. What's the point of doing that when the world just keeps on going to hell? The world just keeps on getting more polluted. World just keeps, people think in this types of way that that everything is defeated. But no, that's just what is shown. That is what's attracted. Because if people just show you, hey, look at this new flower blooming, and they make that the top 5 news story, nobody's gonna watch that. But if you put on the news, hey, look at all these flowers dying massively, look at these people who are burning fields of flowers, look at these bees who are leaving the hives and this and that, they'll feed that to you. Instead of look at all these new flowers blooming, look at all these solutions that people are finding. Look, if you want to attract bees and keep them around and help provide for the ecosystem, this is what you can do. No, but we just want the fear, we just want to be entertained. This is how the mass majority of people think. But people like us, people like you and me, we're not the mass majority. That's why you happen to get this video in your algorithm. This is why you happen to stumble upon these talks, is because you realize that you can change your environment, but you're trying to figure out how. Well, like I said in the beginning, the broad way about it is to truly shift the environment, to truly make sure that every part of your inner and outer environment is eco-friendly. It's stuff that you truly need in your environment, in your space. You're ordering things that you truly need and that are eco-friendly. So when you do waste the extra products that come with even ordering these things or buying these things, if you're not getting it local, and even if you are getting it local, you're making sure that you're putting the waste to a good use and putting it in the right locations. We're not just throwing stuff on the ground. And what I mean by good use is say you get a bag from Amazon, or you get a bag from a store that you shopped at locally. You don't just throw away the bag. You don't just, of course there's different elements of the packaging that you're going to throw away right away. You don't need to save the tags. You don't need to save this and that. But there's certain parts of packaging that you can keep. Even the tissue paper, maybe save some of that, use it for Christmas, use it for a birthday, use it for an anniversary, or just give your wife or your significant other a gift and use that tissue paper to cover the gift. Use the bags that you get from the grocery store, from getting shopping locally or whatever, and reuse those bags for trash or for, pet waste or any type of thing, baby waste, all these different things, plant waste. We can reuse as much products as we can. Even shoe boxes are great waste bins, temporary waste bins, and then even the cardboard can be recycled. Flatten it out and go recycle it with the cans and the plastic bottles as well if you start recycling that. And all this you'll get money for, Abundance is here. Abundance is now. But the more we destroy this planet, the more that we are so stuck in our own selfish ways, the less we'll see abundance. The people who are littering the plastic bottles and, not recycling don't know even probably that they can get money from just going to a local recycling center that may be 5 minutes from where you are, 10 minutes from where you are. But people don't know. People don't care. They think, oh, I'm making enough money and I have barely enough time as it is. So why would I do this? But no, time is abundant. Money is abundant. Love is abundant. So enjoy all these aspects of life at the same time. You don't have to, love the world and not be wealthy, physically, even though you're wealthy mentally and spiritually, if you do not love the world. But you can also not love the worldly things of this world and still be abundantly wealthy physically. Have money, have riches, have nice home, nice clothes. But you're doing it out of consciousness. You're doing it out of awareness. You're using your money in a way that's giving back to your environment in a healing way instead of let me strip you of all your nourishments and let me just use you for my own selfish gain. You don't corrupt the world. You enjoy the world. You love the world. And you help the world as much as you can. With this 4th of July situation, 4th of July holiday, this is what really got me on this topic, because I went outside to walk my dogs and all I could begin to taste was a chalky, sedimenty, particle-y grit in my mouth. And that's from all the pollutants that came from the fireworks the previous night. They're just sitting in the sky. There was no clouds in the sky. It was just all kind of a murky, grayish blue color. And all I could taste was a chalkiness in my mouth of particles. We pollute the environment for our own sense gratification, for some fun and some bright lights and crazy colors. And then we just sit in pollution and breathe this stuff in. Let our children and babies and animals breathe this stuff in as well as ourselves. For fun. Stop living in this backward society. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Work hard for your mother. Love your mother. And earth is your mother. The Most High is the highest Father, yes. But the earth is your mother, and treat her with love and respect like you hopefully do your own mother. And the earth will give back to you more nourishment than you have ever imagined. The universe will give back more abundance than you could ever imagine. But if you're not aligned with the universe and you're not aligned with the earth knows. Trust me. Just like any type of infestation or parasite, the body naturally gets that parasite out and attacks it. So if you're attacking the earth and you're a parasite to the earth, judgment is coming for you, The earth is going to do what it does and get that parasite of your being out. But hopefully if you're watching this, you're not one of those parasitic beings and you're trying to learn more ways that you can align yourself with this divine universe. I appreciate everybody that watched this video, and I would appreciate if you would like, share, comment, subscribe. And I hope that you have a blessed day. And please, please love this environment, love the earth, love the Supreme Mother, so that we can all truly enjoy the fruits that we're supposed to, be able to enjoy freely. I should be able to go outside and not breathe in firework fumes and stuff like this. And should be able to go outside and not see candy wrappers hanging from trees and things like in bushes, and seeing birds pick from litter of McDonald's bags and burgers and French fries. And, clean up yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Make sure you keep your environment clean. One love. Ja.